Hello guys, New Apple Times here, and today we got some great news because as you may know, today was the keynote for the WWDC, which is Apple's yearly developer conference, and it's normally where they show and present all the new software releases, which is iOS, macOS, watchOS and tvOS. But this year we also had a lot of hardware news. So we're going to dive right in. You're seeing my screen right now, right here, and I'm going to show you everything in the Apple website because I tried to take notes and all that, but it was just be a mess. So we're going to start, of course, with iOS 11. So iOS 11 brings a lot of new features, redesigned interface. You can see the control center right here, and many more things. But the biggest news with iOS 11 are for the iPad. Yes, the iPad finally got its own iOS, and it has some great stuff, such as a new dock, which is accessible from any app, and a new Files app, which is which can include the iCloud Drive, Dropbox, Google Drive, and many other file managing services, and of course the files that you have on your iPad. So it's all in one place and it's really good. This was leaked this morning as it apparently appeared in the App Store for a few seconds, or a few minutes, but people were quick enough to spot it. So as I said, the new dock here, which you can swipe down from any app, and you can drag apps to split view and all that. Of course, multitasking. The animation won't work. It worked for me earlier, but too bad. Well, you can drag it up from down and drag an app to see it in split view. And drag and drop. You can take images from one page and drag them to another app, such as, well, it works for images, URLs, anything basically can be dragged and dropped in another app. And the Apple Pencil. So the Apple Pencil brings lots and lots of new stuff. First, the Notes app has been redesigned, and it now supports handwriting, and it detects the text that you write with your handwriting, and you can look for it in Spotlight. So that's pretty nice. And also you can mark up nearly everything, PDFs, websites, and everything. Also from the Notes app you can scan a document with your iPad, and it's so cool because normally if you have to scan a document, like if you have this here, you have to line it up perfectly so that it will fit. But with the iPad, there was a live demo in the keynote, and you just have to focus on it, and it detects the paper, and it just creates it perfectly, and you can mark up stuff. So that's pretty nice. So as I said, lots of news from Notes. This is the scanning thing that I commented earlier, and a new keyboard for a new iPad that we will talk about in a few seconds. That, heck, the animations don't work. Why? So basically what you have to do is press a key and drag down to access some of the functions like numbers or special characters without having to swipe to change the keyboard. And augmented reality. So this is an SDK that was put for developers, and it's not only for the iPad, that's also for the iPhone, but it's pretty promising also because, you know, all these rumors about the iPhone 8 and the augmented reality, if you see where I'm going. So we will see in September what Apple comes with, but it looks really good. So yeah, here you can see some of the redesign of the interface. Some of it I like, some of it I dislike. Well, this is the new App Store actually, which has had a major redesign, and you know, it's all more like the the mm, the iOS 10 music app, that kind of interface, it's what it's all getting for the whole OS, and I'm not quite liking that, but we'll see. I probably have to get used to that. Also, Apple Pay. You can pay from person to person via iMessage, and you have kind of like an Apple Pay Cash, which should be here. There it is. So you have this, which is like the cash. It's just like PayPal. You have cash in PayPal and cash in your bank account, and you can transfer it from one place to another. Well, this is basically the same. Also note here that the dots for the data connection have disappeared, and we're back in the iOS 6 lines. So I'm actually sad to see that, but it's better for saving space. And live photos get like filters for boomerangs in Instagram, or many more things that you can do with them. Look really good. Also new things for the camera, and the App Store that I commented earlier. Messages. Oh, messages. Basically a redesigned app drawer from Messages. You don't now have all the apps like here. You just swipe and they appear in this small line here, and you choose the app you want, and then you get the full view. And Siri also got a lot smarter. We will also talk about Siri later. And yeah, it has a more natural voice and all that, and I think I'm gonna have to go quicker because otherwise the video will be really long. So yeah, basically here, of course, more advances for Apple Music. You can see who of your friends or your contacts are listening to one song. AirPlay 2, which is a new standard for AirPlay that lets you integrate speakers in HomeKit. So that's pretty cool, and you might say, why? We will talk about that later. The control center redesign. You might see dark here, and you might say, whoa, dark mode. No dark mode for iOS 11. That's too sad. It's one of the things I was most excited about, but no dark mode, at least for now. Maybe for the new iPhone with the OLED display we get something like that, but not now. So yep, also another new feature, do not disturb while driving, which is a pretty nice feature that detects whether you're in a car, and if you're driving, it stops all the notifications from coming, so you don't get distracted. Pretty nice. Maps do get in buildings, indoor maps, and they work for shopping malls and airports. So this reminds me a lot of the concept made by Gabor Balog, which featured an augmented reality thing with the new iPhone X, or iPhone 8 or whatever, in an airport. And I just thought about it, and it's really possible that that happens. So yeah, news, redesign and all that, new keyboard, blah 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 blah. And these are the devices that are getting it. The lowest being the iPhone 5s and the iPad mini 2, of course the new 2017 iPad. And you might say, what? 12.9 inch iPad Pro 2nd generation? What? 10.5 inch iPad Pro? Yes, because that's what we are going to go right now, which is here, and boom. It's a brand new iPad that has the same size as the current iPad Pro, 9.7 inch, but packs a 10.5 inch display by making the margins thinner. And of course iOS 11, well, it will ship with iOS 10 next week, but it will of course get support for iOS 11. Really advanced display, blah 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 blah. This is pretty cool. 120 Hz refresh rate. Normally every device gets a refresh rate of 60 Hz, which means that the content of your screen can refresh 60 times per second. But now it can refresh up to 120, and I say up to because it can say whether it needs to refresh 120 or 20 or 40, depending on the things you're doing. So that's pretty nice. A lot of display things, of course, iOS 11 with all the features I tried to show you before. So here now the animation works and you can see it, so that's pretty nice. And a real improve in performance with lots of things. We did see a demo in the keynote of an illustrator of a photo app who created a poster for the new Pirates of the Caribbean movie, and it was really nice. So yeah, looks really good. It packs an A10X Fusion chip which has 6 cores, 3 high efficiency ones and 3 low efficiency ones, and 3 high performance ones, sorry. That just like the iPhone 7, but the iPhone 7 has 2 and 2 and this one has 3 and 3. So yeah, lots of iPads here. The battery remains more or less the same, and the Apple Pencil, because of this new display that we talked earlier, the Apple Pencil is now even more precise, which is pretty nice. Of course, all these notes things that we were talking about earlier. Here are some more animations. You look really good. And iOS 11, which we just talked. So yeah, that's it for the iPad and iOS. But as you can see, I have a lot of tabs here open. So now we'll go with watchOS 4, which includes a few little new watch faces. Not quite what I like, you know. I'm kind of unhappy with Apple Watch faces because they're not quite as personalizable as I would like, but you know, not as customizable as I would like, sorry. But you know, at least we got this one, which is pretty interesting, which is a Siri proactive watch face, which can detect whether it shows you different information throughout the day, depending on whether it's the morning and you have some events, or the afternoon, many stuff. I want to go quickly because otherwise the video will be quite long. So new activity animations, please. Oh, actually the whole page is here, so that's nice. Okay, workout. New redesigned workout app with a lot of things, and you can quickly change the activity you're doing within the workout. So if you are, for example, you do triathlon and you swim, cycle and run, you can change it within the app without having to stop the workout, and it will change automatically. That's pretty nice. So yeah, many stuff here. What else? Music. Music. Yeah, Apple Music is now automatically transfers your music to your watch. Right now, what it does is you have to select a playlist or an album or a song, and you transfer it to your watch. But now Apple Music automatically transfers everything, and it's nice. This is the watch face I was talking. So depending on the time of the day, you get several notifications and stuff to look for. This is another watch face, which can be created from the colors of a photo, which is pretty nice too. And yeah, these new Toy Story ones, which with Woody, the girl whose name I just forgot, sorry about that, and Buzz Lightyear, Jessie, yeah, Jessie. And of course the Apple Pay option is also available in the Apple Watch, which is nice, and I don't really like this page. Oh my god, scroll down please. And yep, that's it for you. Now macOS. Can you guess the name? The old one was macOS Sierra. This one is macOS High Sierra, and it's because it concentrates in high performance. So yeah, this is the new background, which I really love. All those colors are just great. So yeah, basically lots of technologies and things for developers to enhance the Mac experience. The Apple file system that we got in iOS and iOS 10.3 is now coming to macOS, and lots of numbers of faster, everything's faster here, and this is pretty cool. Virtual reality support for Mac, which means that also with Final Cut Pro you can edit within the app video in 360 degrees, which is pretty awesome. We did see a demo from Industrial Light and Magic in the keynote, and it was Star Wars based, and it was just awesome. What else? Improvements in photos with photo editing. That is pretty cool, because if you want to edit a photo in Photoshop, it automatically updates in your photo library, which is really nice. And yeah, that's basically what I was saying. Safari gets great new performance improvements, and it's supposedly the fastest browser in High Sierra, sorry. So that's nice. Siri also gets a lot of new stuff and more expressive, and also iCloud is more inside the thing, more like for everything. And the great thing about it is that also Siri is like the same Siri that recommends you new things and all that in all of your devices, which is pretty cool, and that has a reason that we will talk about that later. Yeah, FaceTime and all that, messages, notes. You can also include tables in Notes, which is nice. iCloud, and that's High Sierra. So this wasn't the only news about Mac that we got today, because we did see new iMacs, please, thank you, that are pretty much based on the faster and more graphics performance for the iMacs. That's basically it. I think there was nothing else too fancy. Right here, Retina display and all that. So yeah, also new MacBook Pros with new Kaby Lake processors. But okay, so sorry about that, but I ran out of storage space in my iPhone, so the video just cut off. But we're gonna leave it where we left, and this is where we left the iMac Pro. This is a mix of the Mac Pro and the iMac for pros, and it just does an incredible performance. And yes, you didn't see wrong, it's just like an iMac but in space gray, and that's awesome because it has a magic mouse and a magic keyboard to match, and that setup just looks awesome. It will be released in December, but it was announced today. So yeah, 18 cores and Xeon processors, lots of high specs, especially graphic performance. Here you can see them, lots of specs, 18 cores, up to 128 gigabytes of RAM, up to 4 terabytes SSD, and it's just pretty great. And also 4 Thunderbolt 3 USB-C ports, which let you hook up 2 LG Ultra 5K displays and 2 extra graphic cards for even more stuff, and a 10 gigabit Ethernet ports, which is great. So here you can see it. As you can see, it supports like two. Whoa, it all messed up. Whoa, it's sorry about that. But oh crap, sorry about that. It does support two 5K displays and two extra graphic cards. Of course, Retina 5K display, pretty awesome display, and new speakers too. And this is the setup that I was saying. It just looks pretty darn awesome. I mean, I'm a huge fan of space gray. Don't know if you noticed that, but it just looks pretty great. I freaking love it. Sorry about that. So actually, before we jump to the last thing, well, kind of the last thing, I wanna say that for tvOS we did not get news. The only thing we got new for tvOS was the announcement that Amazon Prime Video will be coming to the Apple TV, which is pretty great. So we have seen all this, and actually before we finish I want to show you something else which is in the Apple Watch. The new Nike Plus bands that came up and were released last week, are now available in the Apple Store, which are pretty nice. These are the light violet and white, violet dust and plum fog, blue orbit and gamma blue, and my favorite obsidian and black. This is just awesome. I mean I might just buy it today. So I really love it. It got sold out in the Nike store, but now we get it back, so that's pretty great. And there's one more thing, or actually one last thing, as they said in the keynote, and it's the HomePod. Yeah, that's the name for it, the HomePod. This is basically the Siri speaker that was rumored, and it just combines like the Amazon Echo and these high fidelity speakers all in one place. So it's just a pretty great speaker, and that's why we got the speakers update for HomeKit. And it's also a nice assistant for home. Of course, you can control all your music, your HomeKit devices and all that via Siri, and it will be available in December in the UK, US and Australia, and later in 2018 in many other countries. Hope Spain is between them. And it's just like the AirPods experience of the fast connecting and all that, but instead of for being portable, for listening to music at home. So it's pretty great. It has a lot of it actually recognizes where you put it and makes the sound, optimizes the sound for that setup, just like you see here, and it looks pretty good. And it's available in black and white, which is nice too. And of course it's connected with Apple Music. You don't need your iPhone or anything, just with it you have Apple Music within the speaker, which is nice. And of course you can AirPlay music from your iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, anything, to the speaker. And these are the measures, which is 17 centimeters, will be something like this maybe. Really nice. And yeah, right now apparently it only supports English. Maybe that's why it's only going to come out in Australia, UK and US for now. And it of course has AirPlay 2. And it retails for a price of $350, which is quite a lot, but it's not that bad. You know, it's a pretty good speaker with pretty good audio quality, and an Amazon Echo mixed, which make the HomePod. And basically right now, like half an hour later, that's it. This is everything we saw today, summed up in the keynote. The keynote lasted for about 2 hours and a half, and it's here now. So mainly remarkable things: iOS 11, no dark mode, new iPads, new HomePod, new Macs, and that's it. So yes, if you stayed here until the end of the video, thank you so much for staying, and yeah, enjoy all of this and tell me down in the comments which are your favorite news that we got today, whether iOS 11, the new Macs, the new iPads, the HomePod. Will you be buying the HomePod, the iMac, the iPad? Do you like the new watch bands? Pretty much anything. Tell me down in the comments, and thumbs up and subscribe. And see you in the next one. Bye.